all the stories like this that we've covered, these school shootings, and just the other day, the Washington Navy Yard, we've never seen video from inside as it's going on, and you get the sense of how frightening it is for these people. You don't know where to go. Are you going to go around the aisle? Are you going to go out? You don't know where the shooters are. It is absolutely chilling.
So this is a live look now outside, clearly, in Nairobi. Multiple explosions reported earlier today, and that black smoke seen rising from the mall after security forces launched another offensive. They say they've killed at least 2 of the terrorists, but we don't know how many terrorists there are. GRN reporter James of Nairobi with the latest from this hour. James, what do you have?
Well, as you say, what we're seeing here in Nairobi are tense and distressing scenes, large plumes of black and grey smoke coming out of the Westgate shopping centre. Now, we've had the Kenyan officials giving a press conference, and they've said that the smoke is actually the result of a fire that was started by the terrorists, the kind of distraction from the ongoing operation that retake control of the building, get the gunmen who are responsible for this shocking siege, and also rescue some of the remaining hostages. We don't know how many there are that are inside. Over the past few hours, we've heard explosions, we've got helicopters flying overhead, and gun battle going on in the background. Of course, journalists aren't able to get so close to the building, so we know exactly what's going on inside. But the Kenyan officials say that there is an ongoing operation, that they've sustained injuries, they've killed 2 of the terrorists, they've released most of the hostages, they've got control over most of the building. But, of course, this is an ongoing situation, and it has not been brought to an end yet.
Yeah. James, number of questions here. How big is this shopping center?
It's pretty big. It's big by Nairobi standards, that's for sure. It's 4 stories, large car park. It's got loads of stuff inside. It's got a cinema. Okay. It's got about 80 stores. It's got restaurants you don't get in other parts of Nairobi. You can go there. You can have frozen yogurt. You can eat nice Japanese food. It's fairly upmarket store. And al-Shabab has released some information today in an interview in which they said the reason they chose this particular store is because it was frequented by some of the political higher-ups in Kenya. It was frequented by foreigners, and also because it contained shops that were owned by Israeli and American companies.
Okay, so it's a substantial place, and given that size, do Kenyan officials believe they know where the terrorists are, on which floor or in which store, or not?
Yeah, we've got different reports on that. As I say, we can't say exactly what's going on inside this building. We can hear the stuff that's happening from outside, and the rest of the information is either coming from al-Shabab or it's coming from the Kenyan security forces, who say they have control over every floor of the building, and that there are areas where the terrorists are able to move around. But exactly what is going on inside, we can't say.
And what about the reports that if you were a Muslim, you were allowed to leave the mall? If you were not a Muslim, you were shot and killed. What do you have on that, James?
Yeah, there's lots of information coming about that. I mean, we've heard stories from some of the people that are inside the mall to begin with and were able to escape. I mean, don't forget, this happened on Saturday afternoon. The mall was packed, and thousands of people, well, maybe more than 1,000 people, were able to get away. Others hid. Some have been taken hostage, and the number of civilians inside the mall is very small. Yeah, we understand that the gunmen were demanding that people reveal information about whether or not they are Muslim, and if they said they were Muslim, they would maybe have to pass a test. For example, they might be asked a question like, what is the name of the Prophet's mother? And if you didn't know the answer, then you could be killed execution style. I've even heard people who were hiding in parts of the mall actually tweeting and texting each other messages. And in that message, it would have a phrase in Arabic, a prayer or a line from the Quran. And if you were able to memorize that, the thing was that if you were questioned at gunpoint whether or not you were Muslim, you'd be able to recite this phrase in Arabic, which you may not even be able to understand or understand the language of, and that might be a way to get out of being killed.
We've been told that there are anywhere between 10 to 15 terrorists. I don't know if you confirm that number or not. But as you give us an answer on that, is there any sense on behalf of the authorities that this is about to be brought to a conclusion, or could it go on for a 4th day?
Yeah, they have released the information that there are between 10 and 15. They have also said that 2 of them have been killed as well. So, yeah, that would leave the number being around a dozen. We don't have a final answer on that. Whether or not it could be brought to a close, last night the Kenyan security forces said this will end tonight. So that's on Sunday night. It said it was going to end. It hasn't ended tonight. When everybody woke up in Nairobi this morning, it was still going on, and it's still going on now. 52 hours since they took the building. When the officials spoke earlier, they said that it's taking longer than anticipated and that it's proving quite a difficult mall to regain total control of. Could it go into a fourth day? Your guess is as good as mine.
James Reinl, terrific reporting there in Nairobi, Kenya. Thank you, sir. We'll be in touch with you, okay, as we get more headlines, 4 o'clock local time in Nairobi, Kenya now. Thank you, James. Martha.